Hey y'all, it's DVR back for another video, and as you can see, somebody that should be very familiar to you guys because she's been on the channel before. This is my bestie of many, 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 many years, and we are here to talk to you guys about a few things that have been happening in both of our lives, but really my life. But she's kind of what affects me affects her too. So we just we have all these passionate off camera conversations, and we thought that we would bring that same energy to the camera to really give you guys a different kind of perspective, because all you guys are used to hearing is my perspective on certain things, and a lot of what you hear from me is really what she says. So I take what she tells me and I throw it out there into a video. So what you guys think is my knowledge and my intelligence is really hers. um, I'm not usually as calm as I am discussing issues that we both kind of go through, but after I speak to her, it kind of brings peace to the situation, and it brings a little bit more understanding to whatever it is. So, which brings me into my most recent topic. I posted a video the other day about letting people grieve and letting people have their time to process and assess a situation, and not be so quick to jump on a bandwagon and judge and tell that person what they should be doing and that they shouldn't waste their time crying, or that they shouldn't care about like what exactly is happening, and they make it seem as if years and time invested in someone or something means absolutely nothing nowadays, and it should be just as easy to walk away. It's not. I don't know who functions that way, but I promise you, maybe it's because I'm a Cancer, and cancers are known for holding on longer than they should, but we hold on because there's something in that time frame of knowing that individual that's worth fighting for. So for me, in two of these situations, almost a decade of my life, 7 years now, I've invested into this situation that I'm currently dealing with. And all of those 7 years, you don't think that the good outweighs the bad? So clearly, I'm not going to just, oh, the hell, she was just a hoe. Like, no, I don't think that that's right. And then I have, on the other end of the spectrum, that might be the biggest issue that I'm dealing with, is what I've spoken about in my insecurity video and in the past video from last week, from the other day. Um, and I have another issue where I'm somebody who often gets, I don't want to say taken advantage of, but it's kind of like people look for the opportunity to screw me over and make me look bad. And I had one friend in particular, we're going to call her P. She always used to tell me, I'm a terrible friend because whenever she would ask me for something, I don't do it. Or I say that I'm all for it and I'll be there and I'll help you and yada yada, but then when the time comes where she actually needs it, she thinks that I'm giving her an excuse, when in all actuality, there's more logic and more thinking that goes into it than you would expect. And she tried to get my best friend on board to agree with her and a few other people that were in the vehicle that day, and we're making up all these lies. I said that I was going to take her to Lyme, and I tell her all these lies on a daily basis, and I say things and don't follow through with them. And they often get to the point where they pull her name into it just because she's been in my life for so long. They feel like, well, if you could do it for her, why you can't do it for me?
Right. The difference is that I've been here way longer than everybody who's ever stepped in. Like, this is a long time bestie relationship. Everybody seems to like, oh, you do more for her than you would do for me, and all this other stuff. That's not even true. They don't even know the other half of the story. He does for me when he wants to. It's even across the line. I do the same thing for him. He don't ask me for things. I still get it. I don't ask him for things, and he still gets it. They just think, oh, he bends his neck for me 24/7 if I need anything. That's not true. It's just like you can't compare yourself to me. We're on two different levels. I'm sorry, you just met him and I've been knowing him for years. So the gap is really big. I don't see why everybody seems to bring my name into it. I have nothing to do with y'all business or what y'all got going on between y'all two. I'm just here. I'm just here listening to him vent to me. And I'm giving my perspective on how I feel and what he should do. That's all I'm going off of. I don't know you. You know, you're not my friend. You're just an acquaintance to me.
Exactly.
So I don't see why you seem to have to compare yourself to me when I ain't got nothing to do with the situation. It just doesn't make any sense.
But even if you did have something to do with this situation, it's still not anybody's place for you to go and point the finger and tell me what I'm supposed to be doing and trying to make everything even, make my the value that I hold towards her, the value that I also hold towards you. That doesn't pertain to you. It's none of your business what I do for her that I don't do for someone else.
Exactly.
That's not your business, and it's not your place to tell me that if I spend $50 on her, I have to spend $50 on you. I'm sorry, Pooh, but I don't know who raised you and who put that idea in your head, but it doesn't work that way. If you want something from me, first and foremost, you need to earn it. You need to earn your keep with me. I don't just go around giving people things here, left and right, doing all these things. People think because, oh, he got it anyway, so it shouldn't be that big a deal just to loan me $20. Whether I had $1 million or whether I had $2, it's still mine. It's still something that I earned. It's still something that you don't have. So for you to be telling me what I should be doing with my stuff and then get mad at me when you don't get it and point the finger at somebody else trying to make me feel bad for doing for somebody that's been here the longest, that's ludicrous. Like, what in your mind gets you to think that you even have a standing in competition with someone who's known me for well over 10 years, and you just met me this year in cosmetology school, or you just met me this year, you know, while I was working for BPHI, or whatever the case may be. You think that because you are considered a friend, that makes it even treatment for everybody in my life. What I would do for my mom, I wouldn't do for you.
Exactly.
You see the way
that's a whole difference.
Like, there's a big difference, total difference, and we dealt with that this morning. So yeah, we had this bitch. So she get mad. She get mad for no reason usually. Like, you could do the smallest thing to her and it sets her off. It sets her absolutely haywire. And we're kind of like, well, maybe there's a few screws loose, and maybe, you know, there's something a little bit unstable with her, because it doesn't take much to set her over the edge. And yesterday was like a prime example of that. And I got to the point where I'm like so totally done with it. And I just, you know, I text her one day. I know what she's going through or whatever. She's having a few issues here and there. And as a friend, I text her. I'm like, I know she's dealing with a lot. She just got this stolen. She just got that stolen, you know, whatever the case may be. But I want to be there because I know that she takes things extra, extra hard and, you know, uses that as an excuse to be disrespectful and rude to people. So I'm like, I'm going to text her and I'm going to see, you know, what she's doing, and maybe she wants to hang out and go to the beach or whatever, you know, just to kind of like unwind and get her mind off of things and focus on something different. Well, it turned out that she responded to me and said, why do you continue to ask the same questions that you know are going to be a no? Well, first of all, you never know until you try. And second of all, you don't always say no. But in her mind, she always says no. But 9 times out of 10, it's more of a yes than a no. So if I really wanted to be there as a friend and as somebody who cares, clearly I'm going to, you know, try a little harder, and I'm going to try a little bit more often than I should or would, per se. And I just got to the point where I'm tired of the way she was treating me. She treated me like shit from the very beginning. I tried to show her that I cared and that I was there and that I was dedicated, and it was like nothing I ever did was good enough. So it's like eventually people get burnt out and they've had enough. And I said that, you know, I'm sick of your shit. Like, you're a bitch for no reason. Like, I didn't do anything to you for you to have so much hatred towards me. I really did not do anything to you. I know we've had histories and you've asked me to do things that I didn't want to do, which is my right as a human being. If I don't want to help somebody that I could care less for. So you're telling me, why am I asking you questions that you know are, you know, the answer is going to be no? Why do you ask me questions that you know the answer is going to be no? Because you think in the back of your mind that maybe there's a chance of you getting a yes. That's why we ask. So when you ask me if I could take your friend to work that morning, knowing good and well I don't like him, I never liked him, will never like him, hate him, period. You said in the back of your mind, just maybe he'll do it for me if I ask. You knew in the back of your mind that it could be a no, but you still went out on a limb and asked anyway. So why is it okay for you to do those things, but then when I do it, it's wrong? And then you have the nerve to try to flip the script on me and make it seem like you're the one who's cutting me off. No, bitch. I said what I said, and, you know, point blank, period, poo. I said what I said, and that's it. Because you're not going to continue to disrespect me for no reason, and there's a reason why you're getting your shit stolen. There's a reason why bad things are happening to you. You need to check yourself. You need to evaluate you and what you doing wrong and what you continue to do wrong. And you project that you're so wise and that, you know, you have so much to offer the world. But really, I think a part of you might be a little, you know, sick in the head, and there might be a few screws loose. Because if you say that you're so mature and you're so wise and you're so this and you're so that, but the slightest thing, like a flip of a dime, you're going off the deep end, that's a stability issue. There's something mentally wrong up here. Because nobody in their right mind, especially someone who's 30 years of age, almost 31 years of age, and versus a 21-year-old, and you can't seem to find your bearings and know how to speak to people in a correct manner and come correct. She never ever comes correct. And I'm somebody who can put up with a whole lot of things. But last night was just the deal breaker for me. I said, the whole year I've known you, there's only 2 good times we've ever had. And maybe that should have been the sign I saw a long time ago. But it's like, I know there's good in her. She just has so much trauma and so much back history that makes it impossible for her to just be normal. She has 0 human qualities. Just like my ex, 0 human qualities. How do you walk out of somebody's life with no explanation? Somebody who's been there, somebody who's parented you, somebody who's spent so much money on you, somebody who's made sure that you were good, somebody who made sure that you had summer's eve. That's not even my place to be speaking about, but I made sure that you had it. So you don't go around smelling like what you smelled like. Okay? So I go out of my way and I do things out of my comfort zone, out of the kindness of my heart, but yet it always seems to backfire. So this morning, the one I was just speaking about, she finds it necessary to text Tajay. And that's typically what happens, because people feel like, well, you don't listen to nobody else, and she's the one that's quote unquote closest to you, so maybe you'll listen to her. But what they forget is we're 2 different people.
Exactly. They just text me and swear for God that I can get him to stop doing what he can, you know, whatever he doing. When I try that, I try it all the time. He don't listen to me. It's certain things he listens to, and certain things he don't. He listens and then he don't listen. When he don't listen, I just let it go. I say, that's your business. You deal with that. You deal with that when the other person comes around and whatever y'all be texting and talking about. But it's just like everybody that, you know, he tends to hang out with text me and say, can you get through him? You know, tell him this and tell him that. What makes you think he gonna listen to me? I mean, it's understandable. Yeah, we close and he gonna listen to certain things, but it's just like, it go in one ear and out the other.
People. At the end of the day, she only has so much influence. Like, you only have so much influence. That's really what it is.
And that most of the time, that's what they get mad about. half of them do get mad about that because he come to me before he go to them, and then he just turn around and listen to whatever I say.
And I think that's the thing that, like, my ex had such a problem with. Well, if it's gonna be me or her, then I might as well just go. And that's what she told me. And I'm like, why would you be jealous by that? Like, she's my best friend. She's been here longer than you. You guys have been in my life for a similar amount of time, but on the same token, she still has way more years in front of, it's just way more years in front of her title than you. And she's the bestie, and she was the best friend at first, before we even became anything more. So it was like...
But at the same time, it's like, if that, I tell him all the time, I said, I'm going to push back because I already know how this is going to work. And they're not going to like it because you're going to listen to what I say instead of listening to them. I tell him all the time, I'm going to push back. But he'd be like, why should you do that? But it's just like, why? Why should they feel that way that you would listen to me? Exactly.
It's better that I step back.
At the end of the day, it's your decision on who you want to listen to. They can't get mad at me because I have nothing to do with it. You come ask me and I answer. If you go by it, you go by it. That's you. It's your decision. It's not mine. They're trying to make it seem like, oh, yeah, did she tell you this? You go listen. You follow around like a little puppet or something like that. It's not even that.
And half the time, we just think very similar.
Exactly.
And we're thinking the exact same thing. So she might have told me something that I was already thinking, and I'm like, all right, well, you know how most of us get reassurance on things. That was my reassurance. I go, okay, so she's thinking the same thing, so I'm really not as crazy as it looks for me to go and choose this over, whatever the other option was. But they make it seem like all you have to do is talk to her, and then whatever decision she comes up with is what you do. No, it don't work like that. But
really
although we are extremely similar, so it's like she was probably thinking the same thing I was thinking, and it goes both ways. She comes to me and tells me things that I'm like, this is what I think. And she was like, and somewhere deep down I was thinking the same thing, so that's what we're going to go with.
Exactly.
But it's like, you automatically assume that someone's word holds more weight without actually really knowing what's happening, like what the difference between you and them are. Like, you don't get it. There's things that she does for me that no one else has ever done for me, and there's things I do for her that no one could match. So it's like, you the hoe, you ain't got no power or no deed. Sorry. I don't know what to tell you. So I feel like before you make a judgment or a prediction or any kind of, I don't even want you to form an opinion without knowing the facts first. Because the people who don't know the facts have the most to say. Shut up, pay attention, and look at things for what they are. If you feel like I'm not a good friend because I'm not bending over backwards to try to pay for your medical school because you decided to take cosmetology and then not finish it, and you think that I'm going to go out of my way and help you with medical school knowing that you don't know how to finish anything, who in their right mind would give you more money for something to go and try to attempt to complete when you haven't even finished the first thing that you've already basically gotten to the end? You did a whole year of schooling, and just to say, fuck it, I'm not going to take the exam, I don't want to do this no more, and all these people are helping you and pushing you along and trying to get you to get, you wasted your money, and you wasted a whole lot of time, and you wasted other people's time.
That's really messed up.
And you think I'm going to help you with your next career venture?
Yeah,
what world do you live on?
You got me bent if you do that.
Yeah, because you don't, to me, what that shows me is you don't know how to finish anything. You don't know how to finish nothing. So I would be stupid to turn around and help you. And then...
It's not even that fact. It's just like, if, I understand it's like, you gonna care for that person and you gonna do whatever, whatever they want. But at the same time, if you gonna waste my time and my money, why do you think that I should help you on your next mission when you just waste the last mission? That just doesn't make any sense. I'm not putting all this money and effort into it, and then for you to turn around and say, I don't want to do it no more. That's just wasting money out of my pocket that I could be saving to move out, get a new place, and all this other stuff. Like, that's money that could have been in the pocket.
I'm sorry, but things like that are important to people. But people think that, it's okay because there's more where that came from with me. That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter at all. It's still something that could be spent elsewhere. You know how many cheeseburgers I could buy with $350? That's what it was. That's what it was. It was $350. I say, do you know how many McChicken with cheese I could buy?
You and your big chicken with cheese.
I'm for real. I say, what the devil?
This boy love that McChicken with cheese. Get on my nerves.
I say, who finna do that? I say, a McChicken with cheese is $107.
Well, he know the price.
Okay,
he know the price.
It's $107. If I go there with $350, you know how many I could get? 307. Okay, thank you.
I'm done.
You know, I'll be good. I'll be good with that. I go to McDonald's like every day, clockwork up there. Can I have McChicken with cheese? They say 107 next window, please.
You don't never bring me nothing back.
Look here. Whatever.
Don't never bring me McFlurry when I ask for one.
Look here. One time she done take all the ingredients off my burger.
Lie! Oh, no, you not. No, you not. You was not gonna sit there and lie and say that. Look, so we coming from out of town, right? We riding together. So we pull up at Wendy's. And then he got, the whatever that was, the
Baconator with
the Baconator with the bacon on it, lettuce and tomatoes. So we get the wrong bag. We switch bags because he had my sauce, I had his sauce. I opened the burger. I said, okay, go ahead, take the bacon. He take the lettuce, bacon, and the tomato on my burger. I said, just take the bacon. I bit the burger. I said, wait, hold up. I'm missing something on this burger. He had all the ingredients. And you see, he gonna sit there and lie.
That was so funny.
Just take stuff.
But you know what? It's funny that we bring that burger up because it's like that's what I feel like some of these friends do to me. They just open me up and take what I got.
They split you apart.
Yeah, and they act like I'm an ATM machine, like I'm supposed to be just dispersing all the. No, it don't work like that, honey.
Look at
what have you done for me?
I've always told him if he ever gives somebody else $150, like if he ever spent over that amount on somebody else besides me, if he ain't did it to me, he can't do it to you because I'm gonna get mad. And I just want to let you know that straight up. I'm gonna get mad.
Moment.
Oh Lord. Okay. Well, we definitely gonna be doing a part 2. So stay perfectly imperfect until I see you guys in part 2. Bye guys.